Masiwa, popularly known on social media as Nyokayemabhunu. Nyokayemabhunu is appearing in a South African court on charges pertaining to the contravention of the Immigration Act. In April, Masiwa was served with an international warrant of arrest in South Africa by the Zimbabwean government relating to an outstanding fraud sentence to be served in Zimbabwe. And to speak to us further about this is one of his lawyers, Yugeshnee Govender, the owner of YG and Associates Attorneys. Yugeshnee, good afternoon and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, tell us about the charges that Masiwa is facing.
So Masiwa is facing a fraud charge. There's been a situation in Sandton where he's been arrested for fraud. He's been facing extradition charges and immigration charges as well. So these are the three charges against him, and this has been holding him up in prison.
And how long has he been in prison?
Since April, the 13th of April.
Since the 13th of April. Now,
yes.
With these charges that he's facing here in South Africa, now there's the issue of the Zimbabwean government where there's a government, relating to an outstanding fraud sentence that is to be served in Zimbabwe. Take us through exactly what's happening there and, what the process is that is supposed to take place.
Okay, so there was a matter in Zimbabwe that was in 2015. Apparently, there was a verdict in 2017, and due to the coup, Masiwa Wellington obviously left. He wasn't called for the matter. He didn't have an opportunity to present himself for the matter. So there's been an order against him, and this is now where he's now, there's an extradition for him to get back to Zimbabwe. In terms of the actual matter itself, we are trying to fight this matter. We're trying to also appeal to the Zimbabwean government as well to ensure that, they can withdraw the charges if we pay the $3,500 that's outstanding. So we have been working on this matter continuously, but there's been a lot of politics and situations involved that's been preventing this matter from further, even to get Masiwa out of prison itself.
Now, he has expressed concerns that South Africa is working together with ZANU-PF to have him extradited to his home country. Can you tell us more about these concerns?
Yes. Look, there are various concerns. ZANU-PF is a massive political party in Zimbabwe. There's been instances where there's been requests for him to be extradited right now, to get back to the country. We're not sure what's the reasons, there's been possibility of death threats. There's been a situation where his life is at risk if he has to go back there. But in terms of South Africa and the constitutional democracy, we obviously need to protect this man and get him the asylum so that his life is safe here in South Africa. We don't want him to face charges in Zimbabwe where, obviously if a person does wrong, they need to go and appear. But this man never had a right to go and present his trial and appear there. So, he's been influenced over there. There's been issues there. When the coup happened, he's fled, for the safety of himself and his family. And then thereafter, there's now these charges that's now trying to pull him back to Zimbabwe. And we now need to protect him to ensure that he's safe because he has influences. He's a person that could possibly change, he could change Zimbabwe.
Now, talk to us about, you've touched on the previous, there's a previous bail application that was stalled due to discrepancies in his identity documents. What are these discrepancies and what is the issue with his identity documents?
So there were various inconsistencies between his personal details and the asylum application itself and his travel documents. He didn't have a passport. He was arrested because he carried his secretary's passport. He called that secretary his brother. So he's been arrested because, to them, they're like, no, you don't have your own passport. But, he left the country. Yes, his crime is that he did not have a passport with him at the time, so he's been arrested, but those things can be fixed. I mean, Zimbabwe at that time, everyone was fearful of their life. Everyone ran, fled, and they came to South Africa. So the discrepancies in terms of the actual bail is the passport itself. There's been the document that the previous attorney has submitted as well. There's been a little bit of issues which obviously prevented the bail from being granted. So, I mean, we tried to sort that out. We even wanted to appeal to the High Court as well. But unfortunately, due to financial reasons, we could not further that. We could not take it on and anything of sort. We could not bring merits onto that matter.
So what is the situation now, presently, as we speak?
Right now, the fraud matter is now postponed for the 17th of November. There's still an immigration matter. There's still an extradition matter. So these are matters that we are still attending to. We have everything under control. Advocate Cheryl is dealing with the immigration matter. She will appear on the 4th of November as well for that matter. We're hoping that we receive documents from the state. In terms of my matter, the fraud matter, I've asked them. I mean, they claim that Masiwa Wellington has been receiving funds into his bank account. So I asked the court, where's the bank statements? And I'm still waiting for the bank statements because if this man has been collecting money, if he has been receiving funds, so where is, those things? But I'd love to discuss further about it. Unfortunately, I cannot, discuss more further until we resolve the court itself, we resolve the matter itself, So I cannot give much more information as it's an ongoing matter at the moment.
Well, Yugeshnee, we are going to leave it there for today. Thank you for joining us
Sure.
on Africa Update. That's Yugeshnee Govender, the owner of YG and Associate Attorneys, joining us on the line.